Kim Novak was never just another Hollywood actress. She was a star who shined brightly, but never let the spotlight define her. In the 1950s and 60s, she was one of the most sought-after leading ladies, starring in some of the most iconic films of her time. But unlike many of her peers, she walked away from Hollywood at the height of her career. What made her take that step? And why does her legacy still captivate audiences today? Her rise to fame started almost by accident. Born Marilyn Pauline Novak in 1933, she didn't set out to become an actress. She worked as a model and landed a small role in the 1954 film The French Line. But it was Pushover, where she starred alongside Fred MacMurray, that marked her breakthrough. Studio executives saw something special in her, and she quickly became Columbia Pictures' answer to Marilyn Monroe. But Novak wasn't interested in being anyone's replacement. She had her own style, a mix of vulnerability and strength that set her apart from the typical Hollywood blonde. Then came Picnic in 1955, and everything changed. Playing Madge Owens, a young woman caught between love and responsibility, she delivered a performance that won over audiences and critics alike. The film's success solidified her as a true star. That same year, she took on a more complex role in The Man with the Golden Arm, a film that tackled drug addiction, a bold move for its time. Acting alongside Frank Sinatra, Novak proved she wasn't just a pretty face. She had depth, emotion, and undeniable talent. While she had already made a name for herself, it was Alfred Hitchcock's Vertigo in 1958 that cemented her place in cinematic history. Playing the dual role of Madeline Elster and Judy Barton, she delivered a hauntingly beautiful performance that still mesmerizes audiences today. Hitchcock was known for his meticulous direction, often controlling every detail of his actors' performances. Novak later admitted that working with him was both challenging and rewarding. She felt the pressure of his perfectionism, but appreciated the freedom he gave her to bring her own interpretation to the role. Today, Vertigo is considered one of the greatest films ever made, and Novak's performance is a huge reason why. That same year, she switched things up with Belle, Book, and Candle, a romantic comedy where she played a modern-day witch. The film wasn't as groundbreaking as Vertigo, but it showed Novak's versatility and ability to shine in different genres. However, by the early 1960s, her career started to shift. Hollywood was changing, and newer actresses were taking the spotlight. She continued to work in films like Strangers When We Meet and Of Human Bondage, but the roles weren't as prominent as before. Beyond her film career, Novak's personal life had its share of challenges. Her relationship with Sammy Davis Jr. in the late 1950s was met with intense backlash from studio executives, leading to its heartbreaking end. She married actor Richard Johnson in 1965, but the marriage was short-lived. It wasn't until she met Robert Malloy, a veterinarian, that she found lasting happiness. The two were married in 1976 and remained together until his passing in 2020. As the years went by, Novak gradually stepped away from acting. She appeared in a few projects, including The Mirror Cracked in 1980 and the TV series Falcon Crest in the late 80s. But Hollywood no longer held the same appeal for her. After a frustrating experience on the set of Liebestraum in 1991, she decided she had enough. Novak didn't want the industry to change her. She wanted to live on her own terms, away from the pressures of fame. In the years following her retirement, she found a new passion: painting. Living in Big Sur, California, she spent her days creating art and raising horses. She has often said that painting allows her to express herself in ways acting never did. Unlike Hollywood, where she had to conform to a certain image, her art gave her complete freedom. And while she may have stepped away from the screen, her legacy remains as strong as ever. Her impact on Hollywood isn't just about the films she made, it's about the choices she made. Novak wasn't afraid to walk away when the industry no longer fulfilled her. She didn't chase fame or try to hold on to the spotlight. Instead, she chose a life that made her happy, a decision that few stars of her era were brave enough to make. Even today, her performances in films like Vertigo and Picnic continue to be celebrated. Her beauty, talent, and quiet strength have made her one of the most unforgettable actresses of her time. Kim Novak's story isn't just about Hollywood success, it's about knowing when to step away and live life on your own terms. And in an industry that often tries to control its stars, that might be her most powerful legacy of all. What do you think was Kim Novak's most memorable role?